What's up, motherfuckers? I'm here with the third round of the World Rapid Under 20 Championship. I won the first two games, and in the third round, I play against Denis Lazavik, a grandmaster who part of be a great chess player, of course, because he's grandmaster. He was a rapid specialist. In the pandemic, he played many Grand Chess Tour tournaments, and is the elite player. He always qualified for this type of tournaments because apart he plays so great in online rapid chess, and he's a very good rapid chess player. He finished second in rapid and third and blitz, or the difference I don't know, but okay, he's a good player. But this was an interesting game. I have my options during the game to not to win, but to make a draw. Okay, he opened with e4, e5. I respond with e5 in this tournament, especially against strong player e5. Knight f3, knight c6, bishop c4. He chose the Italian. Knight f6, d3, bishop c5. That's the Italian opening. C3, a5. I like to respond a5 against c3 because to avoid white to take a space, for example, with castle, white can play before a4 and take some space. Another here black have two options, or to play with a5 or to play with a6. If you play with a6, you can play before, sorry, after castle or step d6. But if you want to play like with a5, maybe it's better to play directly a5, always after c3. And that's easy to remember, always after c3, a5. Okay, castle, d6, rook a1, castle, h3, a6. They played this position many times. Here the main move was, for example, knight d2 was the main move, bishop b6, bishop b5. I have three games, I think, that position, sorry, and one against two against Pizot and another international master, Gianmarco Leiva, another international master of Peru, playing Queen B8. I lost both games, and against what's his name? Armenian grandmaster, he's Petrosian, yeah, yes, he's Martin Petrosian. I don't remember the name. I play bishop b6 with a draw in Barbera del Valles. Um, but okay, my opponent here plays d4. I faced against d4 in one classical game 2 years ago in a European Championship, and I that time I played bishop a6, a7, sorry. And against d4, I used to play in the Italian always bishop a7 because I don't like the bishop on b6 because after knight d4 and sorry, after knight d2 and knight c4, the bishop is under attack. But I know that the machine doesn't prefer one move more or another. So in the game, I don't know why, and that doesn't ask me. I I react with bishop b6 when I always play bishop a7. But the machine prefer a little bit bishop a7. So all my life I have the reason, but this time I don't know why they play bishop a6. Bishop a7 to show some interesting like bishop b3, like in the game rook a8, bishop b2. And now I have more options than in the game. Here I have, for example, bishop d7, and in the game I have bishop d7 too, but now I have another option like b5. D5 here was better. D takes, knight takes, bishop f4, rook here, knight d2, and now I can trade all. No, sorry. Here d5 was worse. Sorry. With the bishop on b6, for example, here we reach the same position, but with the bishop on b6. Here the move d5 was good, but with the bishop on e7, not because like all of this line is 4 for me. Knight d2. Here, white have bishop takes c7, and in the other line I have the bishop on b6, who can take the bishop, and this is slightly better for white. But okay, so bishop a7 is a little bit better, but okay, this is not so much important. Bishop b6, of course, was good. Bishop in b3, rook e8, useful move, of course. Bishop c2, and now I chose a completely incorrect plan. I have many plans in that position, like three good plans, and I chose one so horrible. Let's show us what I play 2 years ago in the European Championship. I played maybe the same position with the bishop on a7, I think. I played this plan, take, knight b4, knight c3, take the bishop, and now c6, followed by d5 and knight e4. And this is more or less equal, because he can never take here. Well, he can take, of course, but I have the bishop f5 tactic, and if he moves here, I have queen f6. But apart of bishop f5, this position have black have counterplay in the light square. And that's a common plan that I employed 2 years ago in the European Championship, and during this game I completely forgot this plan. Another interesting plan was bishop d7, and who can be followed by queen b8 and queen e7. For example, if he plays a3, now I can play queen b8 followed by queen e7, or g5. I was the machine like here in g5, interesting one. And for a4, the idea of a3 was avoid e takes d4, c takes d4, knight b4. For that reason, I analyze a3. For example, if a4, I take, and knight b4. If bishop e3, the same, take, and knight b4. And another good move here was that e takes d4 and followed by knight b4, take, and c6 d5 was the most standard in this position. Bishop d6, d7 was normal too. But d5 was good here too. For example, if e takes, queen takes, simply. And the tactic worked for me. Bishop b3, simply queen d6, and if he takes here, simply the tactics work for me. In that position, I am better. And if he takes, of course, again, everything works. I have bishop f5, incredible move here. Like with d5 was a little bit more difficult during a game because you need to calculate a lot of things, and always was easier for white this type of position. But if you calculate so much, and in a classical game you can play d5, but in a rapid game in this exactly position d5 was a little bit scary. But for example, it takes d5 was completely normal, and night before I played this again 2 years ago, but I completely forgot. And bishop d7, another useful move. But okay, another interesting line with d5 was that. D5, knight e4, and yes, okay, so I'm training on and draw. Simple. Rook a6 wasn't the best move, but was better than what I played. I play knight d7, which is a mistake, with the idea of defend the a5 pawn and go to g6 with the other knight. Okay, this plan wasn't is not so horrible because the knight on g6 was better than on c6, but the knight on d7 was a little bit worse than on f6. But the huge problem of this plan is that I didn't improve so much my position, and my opponent improved so much, because now see that position, no? And see the position 3 moves later. Now let's see how it changed. In the starting position, I have my knights on c6 and on f6. And he have his bishop on e1 and the knight on b1. And I simply place my knight on g6 from c6 to g6 and place my another knight on d7, which maybe an improvement, but I improve one knight and I not improve the another. I don't remember the. But my opponent has improved a lot of his pieces. He plays his bishop on e3, and he plays his knight from b1 to c4. And that's why my plan was so bad, because I give him the opportunity to improve a lot of his pieces, because during I didn't improve nothing. So now white is better, of course. White have everything well placed, and here was a little bit better c6 to play bishop c7. But the machine says that, but I don't like, because after here he simply take a knight d6, and I know that white is better because the bishop pair. So I prefer what I play. Knight g6, knight c4, queen f6. Of course he can take here, but I plan to take with the knight. Okay, now I'm coming to c4. The another knight is coming to f4. I doesn't like this position so much. Queen knight. I'm sorry, knight h2, threatening knight d4. Now I play queen h4, queen queen f3, bishop e7. Finally, I defend my bishop. So, for example, if he take here, I always can take on d4 with bishop or with the pawn. I was thinking how that line. So, yes, this position, or for example, 95 ideas, and then take on e3 and take on e5, or simply take here. I was thinking about that, and that was not bad for me. Rook d1, knight f6, and he take here. Now I come back to the game more or less, and improve again my knight. Uh, my queen was more or less, it's a little bit misplaced on h4, but his knight is misplaced too on h2. I'm putting pressure on e4. Okay, of course, white is slightly better, but I fix a little bit my position. And here I play a small positional mistake. The machines prefer to keep knights over the board. The machine say that my g6 knight was a little bit better than her c4 knight. Strange for me. Take, and here rook h6, passing to the queen side. But the huge problem came in the in the move 24. The move 21, sorry, that the move that gave me the zero of the game. 95, okay, wasn't the best, but it was interesting. And here I play the horrible passive worst move ever, which b6. That's a too passive move. Of course, I know that this is not the most aggressive move of the history, but during the game I was thinking that I can hold more or less. I defend the c5 square. I didn't have so much weaknesses, but the huge problem of my position is that my queen, now with b6, I enter the game into a positional play because I, with rook a6, with the aggressive move, I have attacking ideas, and my queen can be useful on h4 to attack. But with b6, I enter in a positional game where I have the queen completely misplaced. Queen is, for example, if I have this queen on e7, the position is equal or close to equal. But with the queen on h4 was completely misplaced. I have no sense the wins here. With rook a6, planning to pass to the queen side, to the king side, sorry. To now I have idea with knight a5, rook g6, and I was thinking about that during the game, but I didn't see checkmate, and I saw that with b6 I have not huge problems. But yes, I have a huge problem because my queen was completely bad. So okay, what I didn't like of rook a6 because I give the c5 square for his king, for his queen, but I should play active, and if I lose, I lost, but playing active, not b6 like the b6. Okay, after b6, my position is completely worse. Knight f3, queen f4 doesn't say nothing, he can simply take, and this pawn is so weak. He have a pass pawn on e, he have the both fight for his rooks, my rook is misplaced on a7, queen h5, but okay, let's see, the queen was the worst queen ever on h5. Bishop e4, okay, fake, bishop c. Now the machines prefer c4 followed by c5, and it's close to be winning for white. Bishop c6 wasn't the best move, because after bishop b7 I solved one of my problems, which is the bishop development, but okay, white is still doing better. Rook take queen d3, rook bb8, queen c4, and yeah, you have the open files. I have these weaknesses, the weakness, the another weakness, and but the huge problem of all the time of my position was the queen. Okay, of course, I play in the move 15 queen h4, placing the queen here, but this wasn't the problem because in the specific position the queen was more or less good on h4. The huge problem came here when I have the option to um, give can take pieces to attack and become my queen better using my queen to attack. But instead of that, I turn the game into a positional passive play where my queen is no sense on its form. So that's the move that I hate of the game in b6. Scary move. I hate completely hate this move. And the rest, yes, of course, this is not winning for white, but the position was so complicated. And here I play knight d8, try to improve the knight, of course, to d6, and can come back with the queen to c6 or something. But with queen d5, he's winning a pawn. I cannot defend this pawn. I play knight here, knight takes, and now I have some counterplay option with rook a8. Of course, it's up and down, but okay, I'm still in the. But I lost a exchange. He played rook c8, 97, take, take. And okay, now I'm exchange down. Okay, I try to fight a little bit, but my knight is trapped here, and I lost easy the here, and here I resign because I'm going to lose the second pawn. For me, this game have two interesting points. That's the first one. More. Okay, bishop b7 a little bit better. Good. I know that. Bishop b6, bishop b3, rook e, bishop c2. Here, this is the most important point in the game. That here I should choose a plan, and I chose so bad. I have three or four, five better plans than what I made. It's always better to didn't. If you have no good plans, better didn't make any plans, but not place better the pieces where you have. Okay, here I reach a position. I start to play more or less well. I reach. Okay, here the takes a little bit better, but another important moment came here. Here I should play active because I have the queen on h4. I'm completely worse in a positional play. But in a attacking game, I have my options. For the reason I should have played rook h6 instead of b6. Horrible. After b6, it doesn't matter the rest. So okay, in the first day we only play three. We play 3 games each day in the rapid tournament. 3 days the first day, the second 3 days, and then another 3 days. So I end the first day with 2 points of three. Not the very result, but okay. I Lazavik with black was a hard game, but I could make it better. So let's see how continues the tournament. Bye.